Somewhere out there is a tender. £1.9 million, 7 scored questions, a scoring panel that eliminates you for one bad answer. Somewhere else is your evidence, the case studies, the figures, the proof you actually do this well. Your job is to turn this into a winning bid, under deadline, without ever inventing a fact you can't defend. That's not a writing problem. That's a hero's journey. And every hero needs a guide, a sidekick, and a wizard. In Bidwin Core, that's one companion, wearing 3 hats. Let's go and meet it. Before any quest, check your supplies. You'll need the Claude desktop app on a pro plan or higher, because that's where your companions live. To get them into Claude, install the Bidwin Core plugin. One file, one install, and it stays with you. You'll only touch this screen again when a new version ships, and even then it's the same 2 clicks. Remove the old, add the new. There's a getting started guide that covers every button in this video and a few more besides, worth keeping open the first time through. You're nearly ready to start your mission. You just have to prep your data. Every tender gets its own mission folder, which contains 2 subfolders: tender for the pack you got from the council or tender platform, and your own support files containing the evidence that proves you can do what the tender requires. As you can see, I have these folders on my hard drive already good to go. Back in Claude on the left is where you navigate between features and settings and see which conversations are still in flux. Click Projects near the top. And let's start a new project, which is where our mission will take place. Critical next move. Add our mission folder. We already know exactly where it is. Give the tender a name you'll recognize in a month and create. This is your mission dashboard. On the right, you'll have its instructions panel. Be patient, you'll fill that in soon. The conversation window center with your model picker bottom left next to the go arrow. Type /bid. And every Bidwin skill is right there in a list. First on our mission agenda is always Bidwin setup. Quick check of the model first. Sonnet on medium is our everyday default. Now go. Expect a lot of thinking. This is the wizard doing its first bit of magic. It checks your folders, reads your mission files, and asks some pertinent questions, so nothing's missing before the real work starts. It hands you critical copy-paste text for your project's instructions panel. Copy it, jump back to the dashboard. Paste it in, save. It tells Claude how to behave for everything that follows for this particular mission. Then it goes looking for your voice. We have past bids in our support files. If there's a winning bid among them, the wizard finds it and learns your voice from it. And if not, it already knows how to produce one for you. That's your house style done. Setup finishes with a readiness sign-off. You're ready to plan. Back to the project dashboard for the next step. Bidwin Tender Vet. This is the sidekick's job, reading every page of a tender pack so you don't have to. And it's the mountain of paperwork every bid starts as. First time through, run the full version, not the quick one, unless you've got some experience with the response drafter plan already and have an instructions file in place. It'll ask you a handful of questions as it goes. Answer them as they come. And don't be afraid to scroll back if one slips past. It sometimes scrolls quickly, but you can take your time. And here's the sidekick keeping you honest. Q2's word limit was 1,000 in the original pack. But a clarification, buried 7 rows into a log nobody reads twice, raised it to 1,250. The plan already has it right. That's a mark plenty of human bid teams leave on the table. It's also been listening to how Northshire talks about itself, their words, not generic sector speak. Plans done. You're told to start drafting, and it's back to the dashboard for that. Then, Bidwin Bid Draft. It checks in on the model first, confirms you're still on the right one for this task, then asks the real question. One section now. Or as many as will safely fit this sitting. I've picked a single section, saves each as its own document, and it always picks up exactly where it left off next time you open Claude and start Bidwin Bid Draft. Look at what it's built for Q3. Every figure traces to a named file, small superscript numbers, full source list at the end, there for your review, and never counted in your word limit. That employer quote is lifted verbatim from a case study, attributed, not paraphrased, into something vaguer and safer. And here's the hallucination villain losing. Somewhere in a section like this, there's a question the evidence library just doesn't cover. A generic AI tool that just wants to sound confident would invent a track record and hope nobody checks. This one doesn't. It flags the gap in plain sight and drafts the honest answer instead, the one your own strategy note would call for. That refusal to hallucinate isn't a limitation, it's the entire product. Mid-journey habit, worth 30 seconds. A glance at usage tells you where your allowance stands. It refills every 5 hours, so timing your heaviest runs for just after a reset is the easiest way to stretch what's included, and /context shows how much working memory this conversation has left. Keep an eye on both. If either one's getting full, finish the section you're on, then start a new conversation with Bidwin Bid Draft. For the next one, nothing is lost, everything's already saved as a file. And if you're on a deadline and can't afford to stop, buy a small supply of usage credits. This lets you carry on past your allowance if it runs out, so your companions never stall out mid-task. Near the end, 2 more spells. Bidwin Clean Copy reads for anything that sounds like it came out of a generic AI, or out of America rather than Northshire, and offers a British fix for each. You accept it, tweak it, or reject it. Nothing changes without you saying so. And where a section's evidence is thin, rather than missing entirely, Bidwin Qualify Evidence goes looking for more in your own files. Or, Bidwin Sourced Claims Researches recommends and fact-checks to close any gap, your files first. The open web only as backup. Belt and braces against the hallucination villain trying one more time. Draft complete, section by section. Pull the documents together yourself. Or open a fresh conversation and ask Claude to combine them into one for you. Either way, you're now looking at a single, first draft. Last stand. Bidwin Quality Check puts your whole submission in front of the evaluator before the real one ever sees it. Scoring criteria, word limits, your own evidence, your own house style, all checked at once. It hands back a fix list, with the issues that cost you the most marks ranked at the top. It remembers the rule this scoring panel plays by. One question scored a 0 or a 1, and you're eliminated, whatever the rest of the bid looks like. That's the boss fight. Fix what's flagged here. And you've already beaten it. Or you're one small edit from doing so. A live counsel tender to an evidenced. Reviewed first draft. In your voice or our proven to win voice, resting on your own evidence. One sitting for a smaller bid, a few more for a bigger one. You didn't do it alone. You had a guide, a sidekick, and a wizard the whole way. And however that fight with the evaluator goes, you got here in no time at all. Your hero journey completed with Bidwin Core. Get your companion today at bidwin-ai.com.